You're joining us on the Property Show, the West Edition. There's no place like this show to hear out experts, analyze locations, projects, prices, and give their forecast on the best performers of Indian real estate. I'm joined by Ghulam Zia, Executive Director, Knight Frank India, to rate the health of property markets in the West region. Let's begin with today's big lineup. Mumbai's western suburb Kandivali, a look at its growth drivers and best developing projects. There's also Goregaon, recommendations for 2 BHKs getting ready within 2 years. From budget to premium, a range of best priced properties around Thane's Godbandar and Kolshet Road. Housing deals in Pune between 50 lakhs to a crore in growing and promising locations. Indian investors once again bet their big bucks on Dubai's real estate. Why the optimism, and is it a smart second home investment? Stay tuned for our exclusive report from Dubai. And citizens of Mumbai raise their voice against the health hazard of cell towers on top of residential buildings. Okay, we'll take up your questions on Kandivali, Goregaon and Thane's micro markets. First up, we have Mayank Tandon with us on the line. Mayank, hi, go ahead. How can we help you?
Good afternoon, madam. My question is, I am seeing this property of Acme Oasis in Kandivali East. I am getting 2 BHK for around 1.5 crores. So I wanted to know prospects of Kandivali East and how is this builder Acme Group?
Okay, so Ghulam, Mayank is looking at a property in Kandivali for his self-use. Before we rate his property, what's your take on his choice of location? Kandivali East, a suburban western part of MMR. What's your, do you give that location pick a thumbs up?
For sure, I will, for a simple reason that western suburbs has always been the place where most of these new jobs have been created in last 2 decades or so. It used to be industrial and slowly has given way to good residential and office buildings. And within the western suburbs, if I have to stretch it from Bandra to Borivali, Kandivali has always remained a good residential destination. And over a decade or so, it has actually moved up from say about 2,500–3,000 rupees kind of a price tag to now crossing over 10,000 rupees. So price movement has also been fantastic. On the other side, most of these office markets are slowly shifting towards northern direction in western suburbs. So what used to be BKC earlier, say 2 decades back, went on to Andheri Kula Road a decade back, and now it is Goregaon and even Borivali. A couple of good office buildings are coming up. So overall, this location of Kandivali has suddenly has been finding many takers because the office markets are shifting in that direction. So overall, it's a great location and full marks for his choice.
So that's a go-ahead for that location. Mayank, for your project preference, Acme Oasis by Acme Housing, you can go ahead, priced at around 12,000 rupees per square foot. That's good to go. But also in this market, we have 2 more recommendations from some credible developers with some with known track records. You could look at Sumukh Hills by Sri Riddhi Siddhi Real Estate Ventures. This also priced at around 11,000 rupees, 500 square foot. Also look at White City by Rajesh Life Spaces, also a well-known local player in the Kandivali market. So those are the 2 options for you there. Sumukh Hills and White City by Rajesh Life Spaces. Okay, we'll move on to our next question. We have Prerak Bhatt joining us. Prerak, go ahead.
I've just recently moved in Mumbai, and I'm looking for a 2 BHK in Goregaon East, West, Malad East or West. Can you suggest me some good projects which should be completed in, let's say, by end of 2016?
Okay, so by end of 2016, possession within a year and a half. Goregaon East, another western suburb of Mumbai, as Ghulam just pointed out, all the office developments and the commercial activity is moving to these suburbs. Ghulam, before we come to the specifics of this market, the data we have from Prop Equity states that the inventory overhang of this market, Goregaon, is hovering around 27 months. That's a cause of concern. So sales are very slow here, no demand for housing here. What's your assessment?
Well, sales are slow for sure. Many of the developers are actually concerned with the way things are moving. In fact, it's going to be, all you know, 3rd consecutive year of bad sales, 3rd consecutive festive seasons of bad sales, which has been a pretty big cause of concern. Having said that, if I have to also look at the question that the person is asking, to me, it's a good thing that he's open to both west and east. He's talking about Goregaon east or west or Malad east or west. These are overall, in this whole stretch of Goregaon Malad has evolved a lot. And especially talking about Goregaon with this infrastructure project which is opening up connecting Goregaon Mulund, it's called Goregaon Mulund Link Road, which is actually some small stretch about a couple of kilometers remaining which is passing through the national park. And I believe it's a good progress happening on that. So the moment you have this connectivity getting ready, your entire stretch of Goregaon right up to Mulund will see a new lease of life. While I'm saying the prices are already pretty high, but then with that happening, with infrastructure moving up, you will have much more interest actually for this whole location of Goregaon East for sure. On the other side, if you look at Goregaon West, since we were talking earlier about the coastal roads, the coastal road, one particular element of coastal road is connecting Andheri to Marve, which is in Malad. Currently, Malad is, and that Marve stretch is more close to 10,000 rupees. And on the other end, the Warsaw stretch, you have 24,000, 25,000 rupees kind of a square feet rate existing today. And mind you, it's only a half a kilometer of a bridge that you have to construct. The moment that bridge is constructed, you can have a complete normalization of rates happening. So all you know, the Marve can actually double up to from 10,000 to 20,000 rupees. That's extension of Malad. So I would have a lot of emphasis on these locations which will be directly impacted by the coastal roads. But on the eastern side, since it is Goregaon Mulund Link Road will also have a severe impact, will have a serious impact on the real estate of Goregaon East as well. So these two infrastructure project location is absolutely fabulous.
Okay, fabulous location and so much to look forward to on the infrastructure front for the Goregaon to Mulund corridor. Prerak, we have three options for you in Goregaon East. Why don't you take a look at Raheja Ridgewood by Raheja Universal. This property is priced around 14,500 to 15,500 rupees per square foot, getting ready next year. Construction is in advanced stages. We also have Aspen Garden by Divine Spaces, also in Goregaon East, getting ready next year. Project is in fact very well located, about 1.5 kilometers from the Goregaon railway station and very close to the Western Express Highway. You could also take a look at our next option, Paloma by Chanda Group, also in Goregaon East, getting ready by 2017. Okay, now an email from Birendra Pradhan. He has a budget of 40 to 45 lakhs, looking for a 1 BHK on Godbanda Road for his end use. He's taken a look at Havare City Complex in Thane West and also Unnati Greens by Ronak Group. He wants to know how is the construction quality, does it have all the legal certification from the municipal corporation, how about the return after a few years and connectivity. Okay, so Godbanda Road, Thane West, how about the returns after a few years? Gulam, that's the question coming in from Birendra. We know our data says that about 11% annualized returns since second half of 2012. What's your forecast for Godbanda Road? Is this a market for investors or only end users should focus on this location?
Well, first of all, a very, very general statement I would want to make. Current real estate is not good for investor to step in. It's good if you are an end user, it's something which you want to buy for yourself to stay in, definitely go ahead and buy. Otherwise, if you're talking about as an investor, in any case, the whole of Godbanda stretch is hovering around 8,000 rupees a square feet. Now that 8,000 is not expected to grow to 16,000 in times to come. And in next 5 years, if the property prices don't double up, then as an investor, you don't have much of a reason to be in that market or invest in that market. But as an end user, every time is right time, today is the right time. And Godbanda Road stretch that we're talking about, I personally favor this location a lot because with improving infrastructure, a lot has happened and this market is now much better connected to the rest of the city. Like for example, first of all, the Eastern Expressway itself was always great, very less traffic compared to Western Express Highway. So reaching out from say Bandra or Santa Cruz or any other location in the western suburbs to Thane has now become so much more easier. Whether it is CST Road or JVLR, now we are also talking about Goregaon Mulund Link Road. So there are multiple of these connects which are connecting eastern and western suburbs, and ultimately Godbanda Road itself, which connects Borivali all the way to Thane. So the infrastructure is fabulous. Reaching out from anywhere from the city to Thane is much comfortable today, and hence I would have enough of comfort with this location if it is for end use. And the whole stretch of Ghodbandar, ample of opportunities, ample of new projects coming up. Quite a few corporate developers have entered these markets. So I would say a lot of options available, one can actually pick the choice.
Okay, so you're saying a lot of infrastructure already exists here, corporate developers coming here. Is this a market where end users can find affordable options?
Well, you can find affordable options, but then you will have to go much away on deep into Ghodbandar Road, and that is where you may perhaps find on a would I say tier 2 or tier 3 developer even reaching up to 5,000 rupees a square feet. Otherwise, you are still looking at on an average 8,000 if you look at the whole stretch from one end of Ghodbandar to the other. But then a lower end of market does exist, and you may find good locations in affordable category. Also, you may have to just travel a couple of more kilometers deep into Ghodbandar Road.
Okay, so we're talking about Ghodbandar Road and Birendra, your preferred projects, Haware City and Unnati Greens, we're giving them a go-ahead. Both 1 BHKs ready to move in, available in the resale market. Their location is not the best, but because of the attractive, affordable price point, you can go and opt for them. Haware City on Ghodbandar Road priced around 6,000 rupees and Unnati Greens priced around 8,000 to 9,000 rupees. We have one more option for you that you could look at. This is in Kasara Vadavali, Ghodbandar Road. Look at Rosa Classique by Rosa Group getting ready. All project is in fact ready, and you can pick out a 1 BHK option priced at around 8,000 rupees. Now with us, Prashant Sharma. Hi Prashant, where do you want to invest?
So I have two shortlists, and they're in different cities. One is in Ahmedabad. This is purely from an investment point of view. I do not ever intend to live in these. My horizon would be around 5 to 7 years at least, and could be longer. So one would be Ahmedabad, a 2 BHK or 3 BHK investment. I'm right now inclined towards South Bhopal, but I'm happy to look at other options. So I'm looking at Orchid Paradise, that is one option. And then you have Safal Parisar. These are all in South Bhopal.
All right, so we have, you had emailed us about Kalapatru Sunrise. This is in Thane, and we have our data ready for that. So we'll be recommending you some options in that region. You can email us about markets and projects in Ahmedabad later, and we can take that up later in our show. So, okay, coming to your question that you had emailed us, Kalapatru Sunrise, Kolshet Road, Thane, 1.2 crores. So, before we come to this project preference, Thane West, Gulam, what's your perspective? What's your outlook for the Thane market? Has it performed stable compared to MMR, compared to Navi Mumbai and other suburbs of Mumbai? How is it performing in today's time?
Well, if you look at historic performance, Thane West market, specifically this location of Kolshet, etc., has outperformed many other locations. One very clear reason was a kind of a migration from all over Mumbai into Thane. The number of people, the shift of population was very, very clear towards Thane and specifically towards Ghodbandar Road and Kolshet, etc. So over a period of time, this location has evolved, has grown from a 2,000 rupees square feet market into 11,000-12,000 rupees and so on kind of a market, and this has happened less than a decade. Within a period of about 8 to 10 years, this entire change of 2 to 12,000 has actually come about. So overall, the location has evolved a lot. Lot of infrastructure improvement has been. The whole of Ghodbandar Road today has almost about 5 or 6 flyovers. You actually can cross over. About 15 years back, Ghodbandar Road was full of potholes and very difficult to traverse from one end to the other. A lot of changes happened. The location is fabulous. People are preferring to go on this side of the city because connectivity from rest of the city to Thane and Ghodbandar has improved a lot. So you may actually work in Andheri or Powai or any other such location and travel by either car or by public mode of transport into Thane in no time. So that has really worked in favor of this location. And Kolshet Road itself used to be a chemical industrial area. So lots of these chemical factories have been shutting down and giving way to urban development, and this recent move from industrial to residential development is giving you good up to the market requirements and fresh designs, new kind of high rises, etc. coming up. So overall, this location has transformed into an absolutely futuristic residential destination.
Okay, so Thane West Colchade Road completely transformed into a living-ready destination. Okay, so Sunrise Grand was a project, Prashant, you had spoken about in your email. If you're still interested, it gets a go-ahead from us. The developer is Kalpataru, a solid record of delivering projects in this market, priced at around 11,450 rupees per square foot. This project is located very close to the Thane railway station and an international school and a mall. The building plan is in place, and also the project is approved by a couple of banks. And so that's good to go. We have two recommendations for you from Thane West, the region being Manpada. You could look at Acme Ozone Phase 2 by Acme Group, priced at around 9,000 to 10,000 rupees. Also building plan also in place, also approved by banks. Also take a look at Raj Torres by Rajesh Life Spaces, another well-known local player, priced at around 17,000 rupees on carpet area basis. So that's your summary there. Acme Ozone Phase 2 and Raj Torres Rajesh Life Spaces in Manpada, Thane West. Now, the poor appreciation on real estate investments in India has turned investors towards international property markets, with Dubai being the top favorite. So should you bet on Dubai, and what can we expect from this global city in the next few years? Nikhil Narayan Shivadas reports from Dubai.
Sun, sand, world-class shopping, a cosmopolitan lifestyle that's the envy of the world. Just some of the treats in store for those looking at investing in one of the hottest property markets in the world, Dubai.
That has been the success recipe for this country. No taxes, business friendliness, liberal laws, welcoming nature, multiculturalism. All of that is fantastic.
Strategically located at the doorstep of India and Europe, Dubai has nearly 200 nationalities living, working and playing in this global city. Indians are one of the largest groups here.
With the RBI relaxing limits, Indians today can spend up to $250,000 abroad, and they're making a beeline to invest in properties across the globe. And Dubai has become a hot favorite thanks to its proximity, its well-developed infrastructure, and of course its status as an international trade and global hub.
Data from the Dubai Land Department shows that Indians are the largest non-Arab investors in Dubai's property market, with a whopping 7.8 billion dirhams invested in just the first half of this year. Residency is an important factor for this, because buying property here automatically makes one eligible for a renewable visa, which can be used to find a job or start a business. That's a big plus for many Indians who desire to live abroad. And developers in Dubai are scrambling to get these Indians to invest in their projects.
Indian investors are the highest investors that we have here, if they're going to be sub-developers or they are actually residents and end users. And our payment plans and payment facilities for the villas are made in such a way that they're comfortable for them to invest in this project.
So who are these investors? Well, most are HNIs and businessmen who don't see much value in overpriced domestic markets such as Mumbai, but are willing to explore global property markets. Here, Dubai scores over cities such as London and New York, where prices can be 8 to 10 times higher. No wonder then that the city is a hit as a second home market, especially with the Bollywood crowd, with stars like Shah Rukh Khan, Aishwarya Rai and Mohanlal investing in holiday homes within the city.
There isn't a family which I have come to know that doesn't have a relative or a friend in Dubai. Again, gives you an opportunity to have a rental yield, second home, or just mere capital appreciation.
Prices in Dubai have dipped over the past year, but it still gives steady appreciation of about 6% per annum. However, the biggest opportunity comes from rental yields, which are priced between 8 to 12%. Among the highest in the world.
In London, for example, it is 2.5%. In Singapore, it's less than 2%. So when you look at the rental yield, Dubai definitely is better. And there's no tax problems, and it's an international city. It's one of the top cities of the world today.
The upcoming World Expo 2020 is expected to see immigration soar, and hopes are high that Dubai's property market will boom over the next 4 years. In fact, mega projects such as Shobha Maidan's District 1, the Falcon City of Wonders, and Nakhil's Palm Jumeirah are launching new phases to cater to the expected demand. However, so much supply hitting the market is a cause for concern.
Experts are only worried that this could lead to a situation where the property market overheats like it did in 2007 and 8. Now the government is doing all it can to prevent just that. And if that's taken care of, then investments in the Dubai property market are expected to rise exponentially. From Dubai with camera person Santosh Jagtap, Nikhil Narayan Shivdas, NDTV.
So a lot of optimism around Dubai's property sector, but back home in India, is it the right time to buy a property for self-use? We'll analyze Panvel in Navi, Mumbai after a short break. We'll also look at Pune for luxury residences around its IT hubs. And on our project tracker today, Godrej Infinity in Keshav Nagar, Pune.